Hello everybody, welcome back to BareRose Garage. What are we doing today? Well, let's see if we can get an old Ford to run with a modern distributor. Well, it's kind of modern. I'll walk you through it. It's a $150 eBay small cap HEI distributor for a big block Ford. Let's see how it's going to work. Here, I'll walk you through on it. Now, the distributor we got for it, yeah, like I said, it's $150. What do you get? You get the distributor, which is, like I said, an HEI. It is the small cap, so you can fit it into tighter spots, and it uses a GM style, ignition module that hides inside of here. There's your vacuum advance, everything. It's pretty standard when it comes to a distributor. Now, the way it works, you can see here, get these wires out of the way. You see these little prongs on here? These little triangle things, when they line up to the other triangle on this side right here, it sends the signal to throw a spark. Pretty simple. If you understand distributors, yeah, you kind of get what I mean. Anyway, when these points line up, like I said, that's the trigger to send the spark. So it's kind of like a points distributor. When the points close, boom, it sends the spark. This is doing it electronically with those pickups right there. So I've already got the distributor dropped in there. I got another video. You've seen me drop a distributor multiple times. If not, I'll put the link up here somewhere how I put that in. Now, what you get in this kit is you get the distributor, the cap, and the wires. Amazingly enough, the wires are made in the USA. They say them on here right there. Made in the USA. They're actually pretty good wires. You get a coil. This one, I've got it mounted over here because I'm just using this to test the distributor. So yeah, don't mount your coil here. I'm just doing this for simplicity because it's coming right back off of here. The way it wires up is pretty simple. There's only two wires that come off of the distributor itself. One goes to the negative side of the coil. The other one goes onto the hot side of the coil. And it's clearly marked there. And like I said, you get this nice chrome barrel style coil. You get the wires. You get the distributor, the cap, the rotor, everything ready to go besides the big block Ford and the spark plug wires. Now, it comes in a plain Jane Ultra made in China box. No name whatsoever on them. And I've met another guy who runs the exact same thing. It's where we got the idea to give this a try. He runs it on his Ford and he's had no problems with it, so we decided to go this route. Anyway, he got his and it came from a different company, but it has the exact same part number on this one. It's the exact same distributor. Ultra cheap stuff that comes from China. Now, when you buy stuff like this, you just got to put it in your head. It's not an MSD. It's not a DUI. It is what it is. It's cheap Chinese junk that sometimes works. So it's a gamble. If you're only willing to spend $150 for all of that stuff, well, an MSD distributor is going to run you about $400 to $500 just for the distributor. So you got to kind of use your noodle, like Eddie says there. Yeah, you can't blame it on anybody but yourself for buying cheap parts if it doesn't work. Now, full disclaimer, when we first bought this, it was for the tunnel ram. The first distributor we got was dead out of the box, so we had to send it back to this guy right here. Now, Dan over here at swapmeatparts.com, actually a stand-up guy. He had no questions. He said, just throw it back in the box, throw everything back in the box and send it back to me. I'll send you another one, which is pretty doggone cool. You know, you gotta expect some of this stuff. Anyway, so we sent it back to him. It's all the way in Jersey, and to get it all the way back out here to Idaho, well, it takes a little while. So when we got this one, by the time we got it back in, well, the tunnel ram setup, we went a different route. We went with Pertronics on that one, and it's running fine. But I want to see if this distributor is actually going to work now that we got the right one back. So let's see if she's going to fire and run. But again, No fault to this guy. There's his information and everything. Good quality customer service. He took care of us. No questions asked. No, you know, it's a good company. He's just a distributor. He doesn't make the parts. All the parts come from whatever province of China. Anyway, so let's dive on in here and I'll show you if it's going to run. We'll find out together. Here we go. Okay, to go through this, I'll show you my test setup for this. As I said there, the way you wire the distributor in, negative side, the black wire, goes to the negative side of the coil, and then the hot side, the red wire, goes to the positive side. Now, what also goes to the positive side is their key switch that goes all the way back to the car. When you turn the key on, it throws 12 volt to here. Well, here it is on the regular wiring for the car. This goes back to the key, so when you turn the key on, it throws 12 volt through here, which throws it to the coil. Now there's a problem with the key switch in this car, and well, I'm not using this car, so I'm not going to bother with the key in there. I just need to see if it's going to fire and run with that distributor so I can yank this engine out. So to do that, I'm going to bypass it, the key switch, with my little jumper wire here, goes to the positive side, and then I got a jumper over here that goes to the positive side. Now I'm hot on the coil. Also, I don't want any garbage. Well, undo the negative here. I don't want any fuel from the car to come up through onto that carburetor, because as you see, I switched the carburetor over. That carburetor came off of a running car, ready to go. In fact, I got to put it back on that car. So I know the carburetor's good, so it ain't going to give me no problems. But I don't want any of the old gas from this car going through that carburetor, because it just sat in there probably since 1991, the last time this car was registered. So down below on the fuel pump, I've cut the fuel line, so the mechanical pump cannot pick up anything from the original tank, because like I said, it's still got about a quarter tank in it. So to supply fuel to it, I've got an old diaphragm clacker pump and off to the side of the car here, on the other side, I've got a gas can full of gas. To get fuel up to it, I've got the clacker fuel pump. Here, I'll fire it up, and we'll fill the float bowl in the carburetor. I've got that wired in right here. So here we go. We'll hit that later. I'm just going to fill the float bowl. I don't want it to run very long. So I'll let it sit here and run till she bogs down. There, you can't hear it clicking quite so much. That's good. Don't need the fuel pump anymore. Like I said, I don't want it to run for very long. I got to fix my little jumper wire there. More cheap stuff. So now we'll throw the ignition on to the hot when I'm ready for it. Meantime, we got to get that cap back on there. I've already set it for it's ready to fire. Now we'll just snap this back up into place. Those little snap clips are a little pain in the ass sometimes. Easy when you can get your fingers on them. Like that. Okay, she's all wired in, ready to go. I'm in Idaho. This engine hasn't started in a long time, so we'll set the choke on it for the fast idle. Here we go. And just because we don't want to burn the whole place down, we always carry a fire extinguisher just in case. And I'll set that right there just in case something bad happens. Okay, so now to throw it some juice, we'll turn the key on. There we go. I got my handy little bump starter that is set to the starter down below so I can turn it over. Make sure everything is out of the way. I don't have anything in the belts that are gonna fly up at me. And here we go. Let's throw it some fire and see what happens. Looks like she works. Just like that, fire it on up. The vacuum's working now and it closed the eyelids. So I'll let her just run and then there she goes, she's out of gas. Now I'm good to take my carburetor back off and I can set it on the bench because I ran all the fuel out of it. That's why I only ran it for that long. So, looks like we got a good distributor there. I'll yank it out of there, put it back in the box, put it back up on the shelf for another project. In the meantime, I'm going to pull this engine out and transmission out of this car and get it ready for the next guy. I got somebody who's interested in the rest of the car. He's going to use it he wants the interior and stuff out of it. So this car will be sent off to him. He can use that. All I want out of it is the engine and transmission. But that's topic for another video. And that $150 distributor, like I said, when you buy parts like that, you just got to take it on your own self. You know, it's not an MSD. It's 150 bucks. If you're willing to throw the dice out there, go for it. But don't blame it. Junk parts on China when you're the one that bought the junk parts from China, if you get what I mean. It's not an MSD. It's not a DUI. It's 150 bucks for everything that came with it. And Dan over there at Swap Meet Production, whatever parts, production.com. You've seen it, go back and rewind it if you didn't. Great customer service there. It's just, he lives in Jersey and I live in Idaho, and it takes a little while to get parts sent from him to me, so it is what it is. Would I recommend them? If that's all you can afford and you want a little something better, use it at your own risk. Anyway, get out there and get the metal hot, and we'll all keep these old girls on the road where they belong, when they belong. I got to get busy and get this thing out of here. We'll catch you on the next one.